Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or tip or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
And today's show runs Thursday at noon, and again at 3 and 6 p.m. and again is re-aired later throughout the weekend with other weekday broadcast replays as well. Today is January 18th, 2018. And now the news at noon.
According to the Cortez Journal, a child was killed in a traffic crash Wednesday south of Durango that involved 4 vehicles, including a Durango School District 9R bus, said Colorado State Patrol Captain Adrian Driscoll. The child was not riding the bus, Driscoll said. 2 other people suffered serious injury in the crash. One was taken to Mercy Regional Medical Center, and the other was airlifted to a hospital in Denver, Driscoll said. He did not provide additional details as of 9 p.m. The crash occurred shortly after 3 p.m. near Juniper Road and U.S. Highway 550, about 5 miles south of Farmington Hill and a mile north of Sunnyside Elementary School. All the students on the bus were safe and taken to Florida Mesa Elementary to be reunited with their parents. The highway was closed for about 3.5 hours, Driscoll said. Traffic was diverted to County Road 302, according to the Colorado Department of Transportation. At first, the school district mistakenly notified parents of students on a different bus route, creating a slight delay in notifying the parents of students involved in the crash. The mix-up occurred because students who normally ride Route SS3 were on Route SS2, said Julie Pop, spokeswoman for the school district. Pop said it took the district about 20 minutes to identify the error and resend the alert. She could not say why students normally riding the SS3 route were on the SS2 route. There may have been a problem with the original bus, she said.
County Fair Board issues continue as reported in the Journal over in Montezuma County. Several members of the Montezuma County Fair Board have resigned following the approval of an agreement designed to mend fences between them and County 4-H leaders. The Montezuma County Fair Board and the Colorado State University Extension have struggled in the past year with determining how to apply rules to the county fair and how to decide which office controls which part of the event. On January 8th, the County Board of Commissioners voted to approve a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, signed by members of both offices, which they said would define their roles and help them work together more effectively. But the week the memo was approved, 7 of the board's 9 regular members resigned, leaving several open seats that the county hopes to fill by the end of January. The final draft of the MOU puts the Fair Board in charge of appointing open class judges, among other things. The CSU Extension Office's responsibilities include securing judges for all 4-H contests and overseeing all 4-H related events. The document also emphasizes both offices' responsibility to avoid conflicts of interest, requiring all members to disclose such conflicts and prohibiting them from voting on any issue in which there is a conflict. Before the January 8th meeting, some members of the Fair Board and the Extension Office said they believed the MOU would help end the friction between their offices. CSU Extension agent Tom Hooten said it was similar to an idea he proposed to the Fair Board in February of 2017. Quote, "I think it's a good document," he said. "It's just a shame that it took so long and that it took a process like this to get it done." In the week before the commissioners' meeting, Fair Board member T.W. Gillian said he hoped the MOU would, quote, "end the finger-pointing between the 2 offices. It should make everything run a lot smoother," he said. The commissioners expressed a similar hope after approving the agreement on Monday, January 8th. Several Fair Board members said they resigned in part because of their frustration with the commissioners and the Extension Office Advisory Committee, which the commissioners formally established in November. Mark Garlinghouse, the board's former secretary, raised similar concerns but said he left the board primarily to pursue a full-time career as a position in Emergency Services Director in Dove Creek. The 3 remaining board members, Gord Denier, T.W. Gillian, and Alan Higgins, held an unofficial meeting on Monday to assure the public that they were moving forward with plans for this year's fair. They asked for volunteers, especially those with an interest in open class activities, to join the board and said they hope to have a quorum by their next meeting, January 29th. The deadline to submit letters of intent to the Board of Commissioners is January 26th.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, 3 Arizona residents have been charged with drug-related offenses after Montezuma County deputies pulled over a car loaded with weapons and meth on Main Street in Cortez. Deputies arrested Gary Austin, Tina Begay, and Chelsea Hodges just after midnight on January 8th after their vehicle was pulled over for reportedly swerving over the fog line and making an illegal left turn onto U.S. Highway 491 near Burger King. While they were speaking with Austin, the driver, and the two women, one of the deputies noticed an open marijuana container in the vehicle and started a search. According to the incident report by Patrol Deputy Jared Farnsworth, numerous weapons, including knives and a BB gun, were found in the vehicle, along with several bags of meth and some drug paraphernalia. Farnsworth reported that when he was first pulled over, Austin told deputies he and his passengers were on their way to Gallup, New Mexico, and had taken a wrong turn. He reportedly said he believed he was in Farmington. Although he said Austin did not appear to be intoxicated, Farnsworth reported that he asked the man to leave his car for a search because reasonable people don't end up this far off course without extraordinary circumstances. While Farnsworth was searching Austin for weapons, the other deputy, Victor Galarza, noticed the marijuana container. In addition to the drugs, the deputies reportedly found a set of lockpick tools and a piece of paper with a list of marijuana prices and amounts, and what they believed could be a list of meth prices. Farnsworth noted in his report that meth users sometimes commit burglaries or thefts to support their habit, and several items commonly used in meth distribution were found in the vehicle. Deputies confiscated 6.57 grams of meth and 26.83 grams of marijuana from the vehicle. Montezuma County Sheriff Steve Nowlin said it's becoming increasingly common for deputies to find large amounts of drugs in cars traveling through Cortez to neighboring states. They're also driving through our city. On Wednesday, charges were filed against Begay in Montezuma County Combined Courts, and her preliminary hearing was scheduled for February 7th. Hodges was also scheduled to be charged on Wednesday with possession of a controlled substance and drug paraphernalia, but her filing was postponed because she failed to appear in court.
Reported in Bloomberg, as more international travelers decide to skip the United States, 10 business associations, including the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and the National Restaurant Association, have created a travel industry group aimed at reversing the growing unpopularity of the U.S. as a vacation destination. Historically, the U.S. had only to sit back and let foreign tourists and others have their money roll in. Over the past few years, though, that gravy train has begun to dry up, a trend that accelerated as President Donald Trump began to make good on campaign promises to restrict immigration. As a result, businesses that make up the multi-billion-dollar industry relying on that revenue have grown increasingly nervous. So on Tuesday, some of the biggest players unveiled the Visit U.S. coalition to spur the Trump administration into enacting friendlier visa and border security policies at a time when federal agencies are doing the opposite. Since 2015, the U.S. and Turkey have been the only places among the top dozen global travel destinations to experience a decline in inbound visitors, a time when other nations such as Australia, Canada, China, and the United Kingdom have marked sizable gains. A strong U.S. dollar has also contributed to this dynamic. Last week, the Commerce Department reported a 3.3% drop in traveler spending for last year through November, the equivalent of $4.6 billion in losses and 40,000 jobs. The U.S. share of international long-haul travel fell to 11.9% last year from 13.6% in 2015, according to the U.S. Travel Association, a slippage the group said equates to 7.4 million visitors and $32.2 billion in spending. Coalition organizers said the U.S. remains a vital draw for foreign travelers and that only modest policy changes would be required. As an example, they noted how the U.S. successfully corrected a steep decline of inbound travel in the decade following the 2001 terrorist attacks. The 10 groups in the Visit U.S. coalition are American Gaming Association, American Hotel and Lodging Association, American Society of Association Executives, Asian American Hotel Owners Association, International Association of Exhibitions and Events, the National Restaurant Association, National Retail Federation, Society of Independent Show Organizers, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and U.S. Travel Association. We certainly do need the tourism dollars here in Dolores County. The Chamber of Commerce is working hard to drive travelers through the Southwest Adventure Corridor and encourage opportunities to be developed here to create reasons for visitors to make a stop in Dove Creek. That will be addressing not only state and U.S. travelers, but attracting the overseas market as well.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, in March 2015, Joe McLaren, a state oil and gas inspector in Colorado, drove out to the Taylor 3 oil well near the town of Hesperus. He found an entire checklist of violations. Adam Petroleum, a Texas-based company, had bought out more than 50 oil and gas wells after the company that drilled them went bankrupt. Now, Adam was pumping oil from those wells, but Taylor 3 was leaking crude and it was missing required signage as well as screens on infrastructure to keep birds away from toxic gunk. Worse, the company had not performed safety tests to ensure the well wasn't leaking fluids underground. Over the following months, the state slapped Adam with fines, performed follow-up inspections, and demanded a $360,000 bond to cover the cost of shutting down the wells, just in case Adam, hardly proving itself to operate in a trustworthy manner, didn't clean up its act. Indeed, the list of violations McLaren and others discovered kept growing, yet Adam kept on pumping oil and gas and did not pay fines or put up the $360,000 bond. So, in 2016, the state took a rare step. It revoked the company's drilling permit. Adam's business, it said, was no longer welcome in Colorado. Adam didn't bother to follow through on one last important obligation either. When companies cease production, they are supposed to plug wells with cement to reduce the risk of leaks and to restore vegetation and wildlife habitat above ground. They recoup their bonds if they do so, whereas if they don't, the state cashes them. In this case, Adam flouted its responsibility to plug and reclaim its wells, leaving the state to clean up its mess. Colorado did claim a $60,000 bond Adam posted when it first started operating, but the cleanup cost taxpayers 10 times that. And now, let's take a look at the weather.
Nationally, the weather patterns are showing that snow mix has moved as predicted off the East Coast, though lingering snow is affecting states along the Canadian border and northern New England. It is now clear from the Mid-Atlantic down through Florida and the southeast and all through the central and southwest U.S. Some rain will be seen in eastern Texas along the Gulf and the upper Intermountain West along the northern Rockies and back to the Pacific Northwest. A low pressure front is making a push there to the east, bringing rain and snow mix, while rain is in the forecast along the western seaboard. Regionally, dry weather will continue today and Friday, with temperatures running 5 to 10 degrees above average. High clouds and southwest winds will increase on Friday ahead of our next storm system. And that surge of Pacific moisture will accompany this system, and widespread precipitation is possible in the mountains of Utah and Colorado from Friday night through Sunday morning. And a note that the hazardous weather alert has been removed. The DCTV 5-day outlook forecast for our area shows today sunny with a high near 47, south winds around 5 miles an hour becoming west in the afternoon. And then tonight mostly clear with a low around 26, southeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Friday, increasing clouds with a high near 51 degrees. Then south winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, and Friday night, that slight chance of rain showers coming in before midnight and a slight chance of rain and snow showers between midnight and 2 a.m. And then a slight chance of snow showers after 2 a.m. Mostly cloudy with a low around 32, south winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, and the chance of precipitation is just 20%. Saturday morning, snow showers are likely mainly after 11 a.m. It'll be cloudy with a high near 43 degrees and breezy with a south wind 10 to 20 miles an hour with gusts as high as 30. Chance of precipitation there is still holding around 70%, and it should be interesting to see if this comes about as snow or rain. Those winds might be an issue also, making Saturday a mess as well. Saturday night, a 50% chance of snow showers is on the books for mostly cloudy with a low around 22, and Sunday now shows a 20% chance of snow showers before 11 a.m. Partly sunny with a high near 34 degrees, and Sunday night mostly clear with a low down around 17. And then heading into next week, we continue with slightly above average temperatures and mostly mild weather. Monday mostly sunny with a high near 39. Monday night mostly cloudy with a low around 21. And Tuesday mostly sunny with a high near 41. Tuesday night partly cloudy with a low down around 22. And now back to the news.
According to the Cortez Journal, the Pinion Project on Tuesday received a donation of $23,067.99 for use in its general fund from Tios Paye, a nonprofit based in Durango. The donation came from a workshop facilitated by Tios Paye. It was an emotional intelligence workshop that was conducted over in Durango, Jeff Byerly, fatherhood coordinator at the Pinion Project, said. It was kind of a 3-phase training. It ends in this 3rd phase. After participation in the leadership workshop run by Tios Paye, the group was given a community service project. Part of the leadership program is a community service project, so we all met about 4 months ago and went through this program and spent the last month doing a community service project, Allison James said. The group had 3 weeks to complete their project. They decided to try to raise $40,000 for local charities, and 3 weeks later had $47,000. The group chose to split the funds between the La Plata Youth Services and the Pinion Project.
A marijuana educational moment from the Journal. Governor John Hickenlooper Tuesday expressed support for an idea being floated by a bipartisan group of state senators to add tracking measures to marijuana plants. But the tracking idea isn't exactly winning support from some in the marijuana industry, according to the Grand Junction Daily Sentinel. The Sentinel reported Tuesday that the CEO of Grand Junction-based source Certain International believes the bill, quote, effectively cuts out his and other companies from consideration because their technologies don't require scanning agents. Under Senate Bill 18-029, Colorado State University Pueblo would be tasked with developing marijuana tracking technology through an agent or chemical that can be scanned by a device. The bill's sponsors are Senators Kent Lampert, a Colorado Springs Republican, and Leroy Garcia, a Democrat from Pueblo. Hickenlooper weighed in on the tracking concept in a morning news conference Tuesday, telling reporters he had heard about isotopes that could be added to marijuana plants and that tracking the plants would give law enforcement a leg up on finding Colorado cannabis in the gray and black markets. Those markets are a growing concern for Colorado lawmakers and law enforcement. Last year, lawmakers passed a bill setting up grant programs to help local governments deal with court and other costs related to dealing with the problem. The marijuana gray market refers to loopholes in both Amendment 20, which authorized medical marijuana, and Amendment 64, which legalized recreational marijuana. The loopholes allow for large amounts of marijuana to be grown outside the law's intent. Amendment 20 allowed for up to 99 plants to be grown by patients and caregivers in a residential setting, but the law didn't provide a way for state agencies to regulate those grows, according to a fact sheet from the governor's office. Amendment 64 allows for personal grows of up to 6 plants. Consumers have banded together in, quote, cooperatives for more plants, but state law didn't set up a way to regulate those home grows. The black market refers to illegally grown and sold marijuana, sometimes by organized crime. Glenn McClellan of Source Certain International told the Sentinel that the bill limits the tracking agent to just one kind of technology. The company tracks, quote, agricultural and mineral products without using any agent or additive, instead relying on, quote, forensic-like techniques that profile a plant or mineral based on its natural habitat, such as soil conditions. Hickenlooper said he had attended an energy conference at Stanford University shortly after recreational marijuana was approved by voters, and he said he spoke to a professor who explained one form of tracking technology, oxygen isotopes, that could be put into water. Any plant that ingests the water would absorb the isotope and then be easily trackable. Hickenlooper said he found the idea interesting because it would allow, quote, real-time tracking of all of the marijuana in the state and to know where the gray and black markets are operating. SB 29 is not yet calendared for its first hearing. It has been assigned to the Senate Business, Labor, and Technology Committee.
According to the Cortez Journal, in what is referred to as odd or off-year election years, Colorado local county offices appear on the ballot either to retain or replace certain local elected officials. In Dolores County, we have a possible historic race starting. In this upcoming 2018 election year, the following local seats will appear on our ballots for Dolores County. For County Commissioner, for District 1, incumbent Julie Keibel. For County Clerk, incumbent Larita Randolph. Yesterday afternoon, Dolores County Clerk Larita Randolph made a heartfelt announcement that she will not be seeking re-election for her fourth term. Randolph shares, 2018 will be a year of changes in the Randolph house. In May, our last child will be graduating. June will bring weddings for our 2 younger boys. Then Larissa is heading to the Marine Corps. So, after much deliberation and prayer, I have decided to not seek a 4th term as Dolores County Clerk and Recorder. I love Dolores County, the land and history, and appreciate so much the opportunity to serve the people these last almost 12 years. Thank you. It is unknown at this time if any of her staff will be seeking election. For County Treasurer, incumbent Janie Stiasny. For County Assessor, incumbent Berna Ernst. For County Coroner, incumbent Tom Myers. And perhaps the most momentous race this season will be to fill the seat that will be vacant in 2019 for the Dolores County Sheriff. Jerry D. Martin has announced his pending retirement once his term is completed at the close of 2018. So far, Dolores County has 3 officers who announced their candidacy to fill that very important vacancy. These are listed in order of announcing intent to run: David Harrington, a Republican; Tim Rowell, Republican; and Don Wilson, running unaffiliated. We also have several positions up during the town of Dove Creek's municipal elections this April. The positions up for their term are town mayor, 3 positions as 4-year term trustees, 1 position as 2-year term trustee. To be eligible to run for a position, one must be 18 years of age, be a registered elector, and have resided in the town of Dove Creek for at least 12 consecutive months prior to the date of election. Nominating petitions may be picked up at the town office, and the last day to file a nomination petition is January 22nd, 2018 by 4:00 p.m. There have been no other official word on whether any other seats will have new candidates, but we will keep you informed as we learn.
A report from the Washington Free Beacon. Excerpts from a new research project released on Tuesday show the number of women involved in the shooting sports has increased over the last 2 years, with some shooting disciplines seeing as much as 189% boost. The company program called Shoot Like a Girl, which offers gun training classes geared towards women across the country, released some of the details of a survey it conducted in 2017. The company said its findings were compiled with data from more than 2,600 women shooters. It said the number of women who completed its survey allowed it to generalize the results to all women shooters with a 99% confidence level and a 2.6% margin of error. The company said the results are evidence that the number of women interested in guns and the shooting sports continues to grow each year. It is a known fact that women have been the fastest growing demographic for several years now, and we continue to grow, Karen Butler, president and founder of Shoot Like a Girl, said in a statement. Quote, "There is a chance that our data is a course correction for the industry too, based on the response received after our query of a sizable number of women. We have the unique opportunity with our social media and email list to reach over 146,000 women who participate and or are interested in shooting sports, and they were enthusiastic to provide their input." Shoot Like a Girl said the trend is driven by both a desire for self-protection and recreation. People are looking for activities that they can have quality time with their families, Jeannie Sayer, a Shoot Like a Girl spokesperson, told the Washington Free Beacon. While personal protection might be the driver for women to purchase a gun, when they go to the range and feel the confidence felt when hitting the target and realize that guns are safe when you practice the tenets of the NRA firearm safety rules, shooting becomes a fun activity. In Dolores County, the Fairgrounds Board has just released their online forms being available for you to buy a yearly membership to the newly upgraded shooting range at the fairgrounds. An individual costs $25 and a family fee is $75 for the calendar year. Go online to dolorescounty.org.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of January 8th through the 14th. A welfare check was requested for a county resident. The individual was contacted and all was well. A caller reported a careless driver on Highway 491 at the Fairgrounds Road. Deputies were unable to locate the vehicle. Cows were reported on the roadway on County Road J. An officer responded and was unable to locate the animals. A vehicle was reported as broken down in the middle of the highway on 491 south of Cajon. A deputy responded and assisted with traffic until the Colorado State Patrol arrived. While on routine patrol, an officer investigated smoke appearing out of the Dove Creek Canyon. Summonsed Mariah Green on the charges of theft of $50 or more, but less than $300. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
And today's High Canyon Country happenings. Did you know that the Netflix original Godless was filmed on location in the Four Corners? The Four Corners Film Office connected the production with local production assistants. You will recognize locations such as the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad if you watch that on Netflix. Recent feature films produced in the Four Corners include Line of Descent in San Juan, Crystal Productions in La Plata and San Juan, Hi Ho Silverton in San Juan County, Hostels in Archuleta, as well as Shooting in Vain, The Great Race in San Juan County, Dream Woods in La Plata, and a Coen Brothers film being shot in San Miguel. To find out about the TV shows that are shot in area, including Alaskan Bush People being shot in Montezuma County right now, go online to Four Corners, that's the number 4, cornersfilmoffice.org. Or if you are a film or video production related contractor or company, you can be listed on their website in the resources department. January 19th through the 21st, the Ouray Ice Festival is being hosted by the UCCS Outdoor Club. It's from 5 to 10 p.m. each day at the Ouray Ice Park, and there will be other festivities in the town this weekend as well. And in Durango on January 20th, hosted by Toya Tin Gallery, Charlie Daniels has just released his memoir, Never Look at the Empty Seats. He'll be there at the gallery signing copies. They'll host this from 2 to 3 p.m., but if you can't make it to the signing, you can order your own personalized copy from the gallery by going online or call them at 970-247-8277. And a follow-up to yesterday's broadcast, the Dove Creek Chamber of Commerce Business Owners Forum with town candidates that was to be held this Friday, January 19th, has been canceled as the county's Public Service Center canceled the reserved meeting space pending some internal forms to be developed by the BOCC. If there is interest, a similar Business Owners Forum will be held in March prior to the April town elections. And all of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. The email is dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 970-677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. on each of those days. The weekday news shows are then replayed throughout the weekend as well.
Well, this is new to us too, having 4 days of news, so we're still working it out at the studio. Be sure to check us out on the Facebook page as well. That's DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.